What's good everyone, it's your boy yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's here, and now we've had nearly a week to let the album sink in. I wanted to give you guys my raw thoughts on Eternal Atake. Quick shout out to everyone on my Instagram who commented on my post. Really appreciate everyone taking their time to share their thoughts about the album with me, but I want to get to my thoughts, so let's break it down.
Sharing my thoughts with a pen right now in the dorm room, think I'ma get it out. Got me in the maze before I even realize, stepping through the ground, but realize I ain't real life, hey, but I'm on cloud nine, cause all I see is mine, hey, stop and rewind to the money, yeah, that's for sure. Running my mind right now, cause I think about it all the time,
So firstly, I want to start with what I liked, and then I want to get into my criticisms. Number 1, Uzi's rapping on this is probably the best we've heard from him in a long time. I feel like he definitely focused, especially in the Baby Pluto portion of the album, on proving he can really rap when he wants to. Longtime fans of Uzi, like myself, never bought into the whole idea of him being a mumble rapper or that he can't rap or anything like that, but this was definitely a misconception from the general public and the old heads. But after this, I don't know how anybody could call Uzi anything even close to a mumble rapper. I feel like Baby Pluto, Lo Mein, and Homecoming were the real standouts from rapping Uzi. He sounded more aggressive, he was coming with tighter flows, and he even had some witty wordplay. Of course there is the usual flex in Uzi, but every now and then he drops a funny one-liner that grabs your attention. Keeping on with what I liked, I especially liked the middle portion of the album, or Renji's section, which really stood out to me. And in the comments below, I want you guys to tell me what your favorite part of the album was. Was it Baby Pluto's, Renji's, or Uzi's? Mine was Renji's, as I said, but make sure to let me know yours in the comments below. Personally, I've always gravitated towards a more melodic, kind of slower, less hype tracks from Uzi, so tracks like Prices and I'm Sorry really connected with me on that level. I also think the production on these songs were interesting as well. The way back sample on Prices was amazing. It makes for this really grandiose, larger than life feeling, and Uzi coming on it as confident as ever, darting around the track with all these flows complements it well. And then the animated sample that bounces back and forth on the poppier I'm Sorry makes for a really sweet and bright instrumental. The broken relationship themed lyrics shows Uzi in one of his most vulnerable moments of the album. And guys, just quickly before we get into the second half of the review, shout out to everyone from my live stream. As you can see here, everyone in the chat going crazy. If you guys don't know, I'm trying to go live a lot more, so make sure that notification bell. Also shout out to people showing me love over on my Instagram. Shout out to Brian's Revenge, Rap City Daily, Lord Cardio 29. Appreciate you guys at yadiiiigg. Make sure to follow me. Also, round about my merch tees, we have the Cardi merch tee right here. Pre-order for this one and a whole lot of red, link in the description. I'm trying to put out a lot of content for you guys. I'm trying to stream as much as possible. So if you guys could show me love by liking, subscribing, follow me on Instagram, turning on notifications, all that stuff would be much appreciated. Okay though, that's what I really liked. Now time for my critiques. And I'm gonna be honest, the album left me wanting more and I'm a little disappointed. And looking at the comments from my Instagram post, although there definitely was love for it, with people like Ryan Two Turn and Young Sun XO showing huge adoration for the album, at the same time, a lot of people felt the same way as Delayed Antoine and were underwhelmed, and I can relate to them. To me, the best leaks we got leading up to the album, which in my opinion would Run It Up, of course, in 1600, and even the other released songs like Sanguine Paradise and That's a Rack were better than a good portion of the album and would all land in my top picks from the album if they were on here. And it makes it so hard because I don't look at EA as just this collection of 18 songs. I look at EA as more of an era of Uzi's music from 2017 onwards, and to me that's why it makes sense to compare what we've got here to the other music. So when I compare the 18 songs we got to the other music from this era, they didn't really connect with me on the same level, and this is why. To me, although I do admit Uzi's rapping definitely got better, I still think the Baby Pluto portion had duds. Pop and You Better Move were a couple of the more weaker Uzi tracks in a minute, and a misses for me. And now, this is gonna sound crazy, but to me, there was too much rapping Uzi on this. As I said, the more melodic side of Uzi is my favorite, and I think the album would have benefited and been more interesting to listen to if there were a few more melodic singing tracks along the lines of Your I'm Sorry's to switch it up. The album's production in general is very heavily trap flavored, but in my opinion to its detriment at times. Part of the reason Love Is Rage 1 still stands out to me so much as a project is because it has everything from hard-hitting trap like Super Saiyan to dreamy, soft, nocturnal love ballads like New York Nights at 21 to even cloud rap like Moist. And I feel like EA could have used more diversity, both in terms of a more melodic Uzi and more diverse production, because we know how diverse Uzi is. He can go over everything, but on these 18 songs I don't really think he showcased this ability of his. Also, whilst I don't think there are any completely terrible tracks, I feel like there was a lot of middle of the road to good tracks and a small amount of real standout moments and tracks that made me want to go back and play them repeatedly. Tracks like Chrome Hearts Tag or Part 2 or I'm Sorry are the ones I keep going back to, but but when the track list is majorly average to good tracks, it can elongate the listen and feel like it's a bit of a chore. This was part of my gripe with Love Is Rage 2. For both of these projects, I would have preferred a much tighter track list of 10 to 12 hitters similar to your Perfect Love tapes or Uzi vs. World rather than the longer albums he gave us. I'm liking the album much more than I did when I first listened to it, but at this point I can safely say I've connected with it less than Love Is Rage 1 and vs. World, and it's probably sitting somewhere around the Love Is Rage 2 and Perfect Love tape level for now. The major gripes relate to the overabundance of the trap sound and Uzi's rapping. It would have definitely benefited from more diversity and a tighter track list. Overall though, I'm still enjoying the album. It's still good. It still has those classic Uzi moments where Uzi's just sourcing on a track talking his ish, but knowing what this EA era could have been from the amazing leaks of Run It Up, of course 1600, I think these 18 songs we got to represent this journey doesn't show Uzi at his best from this era, and that's what kind of left me disappointed. However, I am super excited for the deluxe version though, and with Uzi teasing that it's going to have long-time grails on it, as well as new songs with features like Thug and Future, I'm definitely excited and I'm going to do a re-review of the project when it drops. But that's all from me today guys. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, @yadiiiigg on Instagram, follow your boy, and there are more videos of mine on screen right now. Make sure to check them out if you haven't.